Hey everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I had a blog earlier today from yesterday that I did about non-limiting cookie wanting and all that stuff. But anyway, that's another story. Um, I'm supposed to be doing more encouraging. When I encourage people, it's not just encouraging people in all positive, which person I think what I am encouraging you in will be a positive for you, but it won't always be something like, I'm encouraging you to go back to school or something like that, which I am, if you want to do that, I'm certainly down for that, a stuff for to lose weight or whatever people are doing. Sometimes it will be encouraging you to get out of some bad spaces that you're in. And today's encouraging tip is to get out of relationships with people that hate you. And I'm not talking about people that obviously hate you, because most people, when it comes to obvious hate, wouldn't worry about it. They wouldn't even be bothered with it, and stuff. But I'm talking about those subtle hating relationships. When people talk about haters and all that sort of stuff, I'm talking about the subtle hate that people have for you, where they show you in words and in deed a lot of times, in either one or both, how much they hate you. And I'm getting this because we were talking earlier about, we're talking about black men advocating for themselves. Now, on this blog, I'm talking to black women. I'm not talking to white men. I'm not talking to black men. I'm not talking to Latino women. I'm not talking to white women. I'm not talking to Asian women, and stuff. I'm not talking about to other men. If people find something helpful, that's great. If they don't, I don't really care. I only care about black women, and I'm only pro black woman. That's it. Everybody else has somebody advocating for them all the time, and black women have no one. We have nobody. We barely advocate amongst one another, and stuff. And so what I'm trying to help black women who read this blog do is to build sort of a tribe, a team of people that are about you and that you're about and supporting, and stuff. Not people that are sucking you dry, not people that are asking you for your support, but never giving any back, not any non-reciprocal relationships. And I don't care who they're with. I don't even care if they're with other black women. You should not participate in those. Don't participate with people that hate you. And we were talking about this about black men, but then I started thinking, this happens in a lot of relationships when it comes to black women. Black women are so giving. We're so loving. We'll give folks the benefit of a doubt. We'll give people second chances. We'll take stuff that most people would not take. We'll take. And it's sort of enough of that. I personally had enough of it a long time ago, but now I'm kind of having enough of watching black women do it, or do stuff to each other. And, I'm not advocating for black men. I could care less. Black men got more folks rah-rahing for them that they could shake a stick at, okay? And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to feel bad for them. I'm not going to rah-rah for them, okay? I'm not rah-rahing for nobody, really. When I come on here and I talk about stuff, and I talk about black women seeing about themselves, I mean in relation to everyone. I mean in relation to sexism, colorism, racism, patriarchy, whatever is going on. I mean to tell you about you seeing about yourself, okay? Within all the schemes of all the stuff that may come against you, okay? It's enough of you trying to encourage and help people and do stuff for people who keep sort of crapping on you and stuff, and keep sort of telling you that they hate you. You know, they do stuff, they say stuff, they have actions that say they hate you and all this stuff, but you know, you're steady trying to make an excuse or trying to, say what, they need to do this, or I could do this and they'll be better, or they're just victims of stuff. Listen, you're a victim. Black women, you're victims of many, many things. Racism, sexism, colorism. I don't know why you're always crying and boo-hooing for other people's victimhood. Okay? When for many black women, they're being done wrong on a daily basis. I'm not giving anybody a pass. You know how I feel about that past stuff and how I feel about people having different rules for different people. I don't do that. I don't have different rules for different people. Everybody gets the same set of rules. Everybody has to do the same thing when it comes to me and in my life. Nobody gets a different set of rules. If you break the rules, if you violate boundaries with me, you face consequences. That's it. That's all. There's no other choice. Okay? You don't get nothing else. And so I'm not giving different rules to black men that I'm not giving to white men. And I'm not doing something to say that I'm somehow down with a bunch of other women who really aren't down with me, and stuff. Because, if you don't know, I'm not no feminist. I'm not nothing. I told you I hate clubs. I hate joining. I keep saying that. I hate clubs. I hate joining, and stuff. I'm talking about people seeing about themselves, and then worried about seeing about each other. But you know what? If you saw about yourself, you can figure out who to see about and who not to waste your time with. This conversation was about an article. It was about an article. And both of them, I could have just been like, whatever. The one was the Questlove article he did about him and Trayvon Martin, which I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's not my problem. Okay, it's just not. It's not my problem. And then the other one was from a black women-centric blog, and her talking about, well, there was an article, I guess, by some white woman feminist saying how Questlove's article was wrong. And then there was an article about this black woman feminist that's just saying, yeah, we should stand with white feminists. Yeah, all y'all could take a long walk off a short pier, pretty much. Okay? All this advocating and all this doing stuff for people. I don't even understand that. People telling you, they showing you all the time how much they can't stand your guts. And we still begging and cajoling. And you know what? When I thought about this, I thought about the article I did not too long ago about the codependency with black people and white people's racism. And I thought to myself, you know what? Black women as a group have a lot of those codependent natures, and stuff. They just have them with a bunch of different people, They have a codependency with black men, trying to get them to love them and, and think they're worthy of something and doing all this other stuff and jumping through hoops of fire. But now what has happened is that many black women now have that, a bunch of black women have that now with white feminism, and stuff, and the really underlying racism that goes on there, and sort of, the the non-acknowledgement that they really have for black women, but of course always rah-rahing and talking about black men and racism. Also, but of course, when they get scared, then all of a sudden, he a bad person. So whatever. But also what's now happening is with black women when it comes to white men having this. So black women coming, in the IR place, in the interracial places, and these places that are supposed to be black women centric or encouraging black women, now they've come under this codependency with white men and their white privilege and many times racism. And I'm hating to say it, but I'm telling the truth. I participated in some of this stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh Lord, what have I done?" I've participated in some of this stuff myself. Thinking that I was helping black women, but what I found out is no, I wasn't. I wasn't helping black women, and I wasn't helping myself. I'm not a person that's codependent on white male racism. I always call them out on that. But there's some other stuff that I was should have been calling people out, and didn't do it and stuff. But now I'm calling you out, okay? And so we've now just run the gamut of sort of codependency. Now that's why I'm going to start talking about codependency, because my thought is that a bunch of people don't really know what it is or what it means or what happens when you're codependent or the damage that happens to you as a codependent person. Here's a little short kind of, explanation. Codependency usually means that you blame yourself for other people's stuff, that you blame yourself for other folks' problems, that you put them on yourself, you try to make yourself solve them, and stuff, although that person is not really doing anything. You're in such fear that they'll abandon you, that you'll take a little bit of anything from them, you'll take, sort of abuse, and sort of, people not acknowledging your feelings, not really caring about you because you feel responsible for them, and stuff. And you usually attach yourself to causes that are, useless. What you usually do is love people out of pity, so you can, advocate for helping them and all that stuff. Listen, enough with the codependency on other folks' crap. The encouraging is to be about you and the people that celebrate you. I don't really care who those people are. Don't really matter to me. As long as they celebrate and support you. As long as they don't dog you. As long as their actions don't dog you. When I was talking about the article a few days ago about on the Black Women Centric blog, talking about this woman who was racially ambiguous and how, she was just trying to say how down she was for black men and, her difficulties dating black men, but that was what she was going to do. Listen, when that woman told me in that article, about second paragraph in that article, and I know a bunch of you saw it, that she was racially ambiguous and how she took full advantage of her racial ambiguity to raise herself to a level higher than a black woman, she told me how much she hated me. Okay? So, when I wrote my comment, or when I talked on that blog about I wasn't going to support her, that was because the woman had already told me she hated me. Now, she loved black men, but she hated black women. Okay? And many times that's how it is. Okay? Loving up a bunch of other folks, we love white men, but we hate black women. And black women need to understand a bunch of these places and pages and blogs that are telling you that they're about you are not about you. They're about dogging you. They're about showing you how much they hate you. They're about advocating for black men in many cases, or for white women's version of feminism or whatever, or for white men's sexism and patriarchy, and white privilege and racism, and you are lost in the shuffle. It is the same thing that I was saying about Don Lemon. Notice. You need to notice. Look and see and notice. Who are they blaming for the situation being the way it is? Because many times when I read things, nobody's blaming the actual culprit. They're usually blaming the victim. Now, you are reading blogs and looking at stuff and going places and, and all this stuff. And when they start talking about black women and stuff that's going on with black women, single motherhood, poverty, not being married, hair, beauty, being fat, being whatever, and stuff. who is getting the blame? Now, I'm not saying whose responsibility it is to, make a better life for themselves, because it's always your responsibility to make a better life for yourself. Always. It's always your responsibility to do that, which usually means you need to get away from toxic people and out of toxic relationships of all kinds, okay? And you can do that easily. That's a great step to just moving on and letting go of being codependent on other people and their foolishness. But when they're talking, who are they talking about? Who are they saying that needs to make the change? Who are they saying that needs to make the improvement? If it's always you, if when they start talking about black women not being married, if the next thing is because black women are fill in the blank, or, well, black women are, overweight and fat and obese, and that's because black women are fill in the blank, or, well, black women are poor and single mothers because they are fill in the blank. Trust and believe. They hate you. They hate your guts. Okay? They hate your guts. And they're telling you they hate your guts. They're not really offering solutions. They're only offering a way to to push themselves out to other you, to make you different. To make you not part of them. And so when you see that, when you see the thing about, I'm racially ambiguous and all this stuff, and I don't really understand why black women would date white men, and stuff, because they're going to treat you listen, that's somebody who tells you to take away your options and choice hates your guts. It's easy. We need to know what hate looks like, what it sounds like, because many times it's coming in, and it's coming in so subtle now. It's so subtle and so slick. It's slicker than, it's slicker than the ice on the sidewalks here when it snows, okay? It's slicker than that. It's slick. And we're jumping in, and we're and all this stuff because we want to be a part of the big group. We want to be a part of the group that's acceptable. So we'll go against other black women to be a part of that group. Listen, once again, what other people do does not define who I am. I don't have to separate myself from a part of a group of women, because what they do does not define who I am, nor does what I do define who they are. We are individual people. We're trying to lead our own best lives. I don't take responsibility for other people's junk. Nobody should take responsibility for mine. And I want black women to stop. I am encouraging you and imploring you, stop messing with these folks that hate your guts. Stop it. As soon as you start feeling the feeling, because I know we know. It's not like we don't know. We know. As soon as you start feeling the feeling that somebody hates you, you need to get up and leave. You need to just be like, okay, I got to go by. Stop trying to convince people. Stop begging. Stop being codependent. There's no need to do all that. You're already a person that's worthy. You're already a person that's worthy of a good life. You're already a person that's worthy of some understanding and some sympathy and empathy. You're already a person that's worthy of some encouragement. You're already worthy of that. Stop trying to prove yourself to people. Just stop it. Stop it. If we had some boundaries, if we took care of ourselves, we'd really take care of ourselves. And I don't know if you know what I'm saying when I say that, but I'm saying if we really took care of ourselves as people and had healthy boundaries and some healthy self-worth, and we would, just kick the nitwits out of our lives, we'd really take care of ourselves. We wouldn't be contorting ourselves into pretzels or doing a lot of unhealthy things, unhealthy for our bodies, unhealthy for our minds and our psyches, unhealthy for our lives, unhealthy for our children's lives. We wouldn't be doing all of that. Your first step on the way to greatness of whatever, however that is for you, however you define that, because I'm not defining that for nobody. However you define that, okay, if that means being a great mom, if that means being a great business owner, if that means being a great student, if that means just being a great, wife, if that means being a great, great whatever, great grandma, whatever, great person, great healthy person, whatever that means for you, is going to come when you first stop being codependent on other people. Stop being codependent on people that hate you. Because now it's went from black women being codependent on black men to black women started moving to being codependent on white men and white men's, acceptance and acknowledgement. I'm telling you, we can't win for losing. And so we move from one situation over to the same situation. Nobody's seen about themselves. Nobody's taking care of themselves. They're so busy worrying about whether so-and-so finds to be acceptable that they've now become codependent on something else, on something different. And in the end, people are steady telling you, I hate you. I hate your guts. I hate you. I hate you. And in word and deed, they telling you I hate you. And you steady begging. Or steady, you know what? It's really my responsibility. And I'm going to do something about it. And I'm going to change just to make you love me. And then you change, you do whatever, and you adjust and all that stuff. And they still going, I still hate you. It's happening. I see it happening in front of my face. And it saddens me. And it makes me furiously angry. Because your life and who you are and what you do should have you surrounded by people who encourage that in you. That's it. And like I say, I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care who they are, what they look like. I care less. You need to be in a place of pure celebration all the time. You need to be in a place where people come to you, of course, when they tell you the truth, but they're loving you. They're not telling you because they're hating you. And we could tell the difference. You know the difference between somebody telling you the truth because they want to help you and somebody telling you the truth because, they just want to make you feel bad. No, my thought is most of you are adult women. If you're young women, you probably know too. But adult women, you know. And so I'm going to be coming with encouraging tips from every couple of days. I'm going to be coming with those. I'm going to be coming with more information on codependency and boundaries because I'm seeing stuff and I'm thinking, wow, people are really not getting this. And they're really going to be damaged if they don't. And I don't want you damaged. I don't want you messed up. I don't want you to end up in therapy because you don't know what it is that you're kind of setting yourself up for. And so, and like I say, more encouraging tips. Some of them may be, hey, go back to school. And some of them may be, hey, drop the zeros and find you a hero, But whatever it is, it's to encourage you to have a better life. So I'll talk to you all later. And you all have a good rest of your day. I'm certainly going to encourage you to do that. Okay, bye-bye.